Hello, Mr. Snake.
Just went and popped the eggs with her hand. Just all the egg stuff tripped onto the porch. It's uneven as all hell, but just make this clean so that I can make it dirty. Before and after.
We're starting here, starting right now. 1, 2, 3. We breathe it in. We feel our hearts, they're pounding. Rising up to feel the fire dance wild through our veins. We take a chance and know we'll never be the same. Giving it all we got, giving it all. Giving it all we got. Oh, climbing up to the top of the world. No fear, we're gonna make it. Everything we want is ours.
My wife, it seems, has seen another snake outside the kitchen window. So I'm going to be on snake patrol. See if I can't catch him. Oh, I gotta be quiet. I see him. I see him. Got him. Huh? Whoa! Hello, Mr. Snake.
He's a big one too, man. That's like, wait a minute. That's right up to my head. That's, you know, that's almost, is that 2 meters? 80 inches? Nah, less than 2 meters. Check it out, bro. He is a big one. Nice. I can make a belt out of that. Notice I have my snake glove on. I let him bite me, or let him bite the glove. That's the first time my snake glove has been bitten by a snake. And it did not fail. I heard it go prick, prick, but I think it's a rat snake. Yeah, it looks like a rat snake. Long one, dang, man. Anyway, I'm gonna dispatch him into the neighbor's property. All right, back at you. Well, that was crazy, huh? Snakes in the morning. Snakes on a plane. Whew. Sometimes it's too early for that stuff. I just remember something. This fan right here, I might have shown in previous videos, but for whatever reason, as soon as this stops, man, a bird will fly in here. It's probably the same ass bird and try to make a nest. And he just keeps going at it. So we keep the fan's going anyway, just for mozzies or whatever. But yeah, man. So it only gets like 3 or 4 pieces of, you know, debris in there before I just reach up there and pull it out, right? So this is actually, you can see it's actually kind of close, right, to my head, which means that my wife is tall enough to reach right in here. And when we came back from Bali just the other day or whatever, there was a nest, like a full nest in there, and she was like, oh man. So she reached up there to just grab the nest and, you know, get rid of it, and there were eggs in there, man. She just went and popped the eggs with her hand. Just all the egg stuff tripped onto the porch. And, oh my God. Life and death here on the farm. But yeah, so I don't know, maybe that bird won't come back now because, you know, the nesting duty is over. Speaking of nesting duty, this guy. Hey, what we doing, man? Sleeping on the sunroof. Dogs can't get them. And it's kind of cool. Bananas I harvested are not quite ready yet, but they're getting there. Mom came over and we gave her a bunch of bananas and a fish and stuff. My wife was fishing the other day. But yeah, man. I guess it is the snake season. And the birds were still in here. Well, the yellow birds I'm not worried about, but that guy, he's a weaver, common weaver, picking up weaving materials. But I saw the white one take off from here, and I was like, dude, I just set up my bird kites, man. My scarecrow's still there. That bird kite, see, it's moving. I don't know if you can see it from here. But I set that out, cut some bamboo in the morning, yesterday morning, or was it this morning? And then, you know, put those two birds up there. But they don't quite seem to scare anything yet. It rained like a banshee yesterday, so I didn't, it's still even wet right here, man. On the underhang. I didn't get to work on my mirror box solution. But, oh. And I think I mentioned from the shop house here, I think I'm gonna put some kind of walkway right here, just maybe like a meter or whatever, just big enough for these guys. So you can see they're all Coca-Cola covered right now. And that's because all the tamarind trees fall up on there. And the rain washes them off sometimes, but fair enough, this time of year, look at all that brown stuff is those tamarind leaves. And there's literally like 4 inches of it over there. But yeah, that's what stains this color. Even if the leaves don't fall on it, the whole water up there becomes that color. Which means that hell, I probably could capture some of it and make it into a dye or a tie-dye. We'll call that a tamarind tie-dye. Hey, there's another idea. Oh, but I tell you, I am a bit knackered. I wake up in pain every day. Every day. Although, I don't know, is it pain or just anguish? Oh, speaking of anguish, my air conditioner, it's been 2.5 years. So my smaller air conditioner in my, in my computer room, guest room, it was a guest room, but I don't have a bed in there anymore. But yeah, I think it's taking a crap. I take care of it pretty good. I mean, I clean it and clean the inverter down there and all that stuff, and I also get it cleaned by professionals, which after watching them, I could do that. But anyway, I got that C4 Flash 22, on the Samsung. When I looked it up, there's 100 videos by Indian guys that say, oh, you fix that in 5 minutes. And I don't know if you watched those Indian videos on how to fix electronics and stuff, but oh my God, keep the camera still, will you, bro? But anyway, that didn't help. So, but I did look at a couple things, and I figured that there's a C4 error, which is like, your capacitor maybe and something else, you know, on the top, and kind of messed up, probably more expensive, whatever. But then the C4, then it clicks to a 22, which means that it's probably like the fan is getting stuck, or the power to the fan and stuff. And we've had a number of power outages in recent, you know, weeks or whatever. So I'm thinking, shit. And that's when the aircon was on, right? And if we leave it on, we used to leave it on for the dog all the time before he passed away, and now we can leave it on for the cats. But if we're gone and the power goes off and comes back on, you know, that's on and off in the compressor like that. Anyway, I don't want to deal with it, so I had Dot call the guy last night, and he's supposed to come from the village over here, Young Rian, and take a look at it, and he'll probably say it's a fan motor or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to buy a new aircon, I know that. But it's all right. I mean, you know, the fan right now, it's not blazing hot. We don't have those 120 days. And oh, that reminds me. So yeah, in my room over there, there's been an ongoing issue. I think I guess now in reflection, it's a couple times a year, and that is that I have the perimeter lights, the ones that are inset, and then there's the ceiling is inset, and then there's a round light. They're all LEDs, right? And the round one are those ones that have that magnetic LED ring. You can basically replace it, just stick it up into the metal, and but they're like 300 baht each, the replacements. And I mean, if you want a bright one. And anyway, I had replaced it once or twice because it went out, so to speak, and I thought, what the hell, it's going out? Is that an electrical problem? And then a couple, the light on this side and the light on that side would flicker. It would, matter of fact, let me go. It would flicker like this, and I'm thinking, oh man, goddamn shorts, maybe. Is there a rat up there or something? What's going on? I don't get rats up in the upward. There goes a bird, god dang it. Get out of there. Ah! See, he don't care about them birds. That's the one that sits on the side of on the rim of the pond, and we'll just go and grab fish like that. He's probably, I bet he holds something in his mouth. It's one of those birds where they bait the fish, right? And then they're wham, got you, bitch. But yeah, so I would get the burning, the flickering of the lights, and I'm like, what the fuck? You know, it pissed me off. And so then I decided, you know, I gotta go fix that thing. You know, because one of the light bulbs went out, the one right above me, of course, went out. And then the main one, the big one, had gone out. So I had already replaced the big one, no problem. But when I replaced the big one, I realized what the actual problem was. Well, I should say that coupled with when I changed the small one. So in order to zzz like that, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to take a look at that. So I took the light out, dropped the casing, looked at all the wires and everything, and it was fine. I was then strong, you know, the guys did a good job, and I'm like, what the f? And then that's when I reflected on when I took out the magnet, the old one. When I took out the old one, it was dead for sure, but it was also like potato chipped. So it was warped, and it was warped from the heat, because that particular light and ring or whatever is, there's no insulation between the roof tile and that light, or those, you know, those lights. So, and there's not that much distance right there. So that's what happened. The 120 degrees or whatever has probably cooked that thing up there. And so that's what warped the plastic ring in that disc light, LED. And it just warped it to where, you know, it disconnects or whatever, and then you lose the light. So now what I did for that, I should say doing, because I haven't got it yet. But and then when I pulled off this light, and then all the wires are good and stuff, I thought, you know what the? So I took this apart. You can pop these tops off pretty easy, and they're just simple. They look like that. But there are 4. You can see there's 4 connections. Right, I don't know if you can see it good, but anyway, each one of these has a positive and a negative pole coming out of it, right? And that's the LED that it arcs, right? And or I think it arcs. But I do notice that one of them is actually missing. It's like been burnt down or whatever. And so this is why if I plug this lamp in right now, it goes, it still lights, but it flickers. And I know for sure it's flickering because of that missing bar. And this bar over here is actually even shorter. And I'm gonna venture to say that the reason they're like that, and they probably are, it is an electrical connection between the two, that it just gets so hot that while I'm sitting there in the daytime, when it's hot, even though I got aircon going, the roof is not cool up there. So I'm sitting there with the light on all day. So that means, well, I'm not sitting there all day, but the light will be on for hours. And so, you know, with the LED light on and with extreme heat, it starts to kill the light. As evidenced by the missing nodes right there. Anyway, that was my discovery. So I discovered that on the days when it's like 120 freaking degrees or whatever, I got to figure out how to cool down the lights, either by one, which I was referring to or alluding to, which was putting a couple pieces of insulation up in there. Although I don't have a hole for the ceiling, so I'll either have to go through the light hole, roll it up, stick it up, or just cut an attic door, so to speak, so I can get it, do that stuff. Or I just, you know, take evasive measures during the hot season, which is one, don't run the lights at peak heat, you know. The aircon's all right, but you know, maybe I don't need lights, or I can find a standalone light, or just not even that. No, I can use my desk light, right? I'll just get a better desk light, and I can plug that in. That'll work. It won't get hot. As for the magnet one, I suppose on super hot days I could just spin the white disc off of there and just let the magnet ring hang by itself. It won't get hot that way. Although now that I have my temperature gun that I've used for my pizza oven, when it gets freaking baking hot in September, I guess, August, September. Is it hot in August? I think it's hot in August. Anyway, next time it gets like over 100, I'm gonna put that temperature gun up there to see exactly what I'm dealing with. Because the house doesn't get any hotter than I think a normal house would be. You know, I think if you go to a 2-story cement house, you go to the very top, outside of your drop ceiling or whatever, and run a temperature up there, it's gonna be freaking blazing. Same as this house, shop house, this is a cement house, but it's got a metal roof, and I got my shear board in there, no insulation, but it doesn't get unduly hot. Same as air conditioning cover. I see a lot of people when they're talking about house building and stuff like that, like, oh my God, you gotta have R3 or whatever insulation, blah, 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 Thailand. And you know what? Maybe you do where you're from, but temperatures are normal here. When it's hot, I don't give a shit where you live. It's hot when it's hot. But anyway. Kept this light bulb. Yeah, so things to do on the farm. I did I did cut back some more of that bamboo. When I cut those 2 bamboo poles for the kites, I cut some more bamboo over there that I thought I might need later. I'll let it dry out a bit. My 2 wait a minute. Oh yeah, I bought 2. I don't know if I showed you that. Oh my gosh, I bought 2 bamboo beds for this knockdown house. When Dot's uncle passed away, we had a bunch of family coming over and stuff, and I figured, well, you know, I mean, they could have slept on the floor in there. It would have been fine. But I went and grabbed 2 beds real quick. And these are real good, you know. But we wanted to get them outside. I bought them brand new, put them in there. So they slept in there on them. But because it was brand new, the whole house smelled like bamboo in there. Every time I walk in there, I was like, there's some bamboo in here. And but now, you know, got around them. Dot said there was actually, you know, she saw dust falling off on it, you know, or whatever. What do you call that? Bamboo dust. And so we took them out of there, put them out here, and actually hosed them down and made them all nice and stuff. And then I had to rotate a little bit, make sure the drips got out of any bamboo that might have leaked inside. And I'm gonna set them over there and let them get real dry. Although it's difficult because it's all wet out here, even in the air. So let them get dry, and then put lacquer on them. Try and protect them now, make them last. They're about, I don't know what, 250, 300 each. My wife says they're 300. I think I might have paid 250. And but yeah, so that'd be cool. I was thinking of taking one of them and putting it, you know, up here. I could actually put both of them up there. Could probably sleep two people up there in my tent house. Maybe that's a new name for it. The tent house. It's got a nice ring to it. Yeah, let me know what you think. My tent house. The weeds are growing. I just threw those up there, stuck some in there, and after all the rain and stuff starting to grow. Oh, of course they're fake flowers, but the vines are going. You can see all this lime green color is all new. After trimming those hedges, starting to really produce. They're gonna get thick, and I'm probably gonna be able to trim them real easy, real, you know, real thick. If they're thick, you can trim those bushes into, you know, into shapes, but they got to be thick. So the ones in the back, you know, they're tall, and you know, without putting scaffolding up there, I just kind of have to aim it with my arm and try and make it flat and stuff. But you know, this side might be lower than that side or whatever, blah blah blah. But looks like I still have to do that one again too, since we've been back. Anyway, I'll figure out something to do today. Gotta get her done. Hopefully I won't run into another snake. There goes that big old bird again. God dang it. You know what? I think it's time to blow him up. Birds, man. They, you know, they really can't. I should put my camera out there just for, like, you know, time lapse for a let's see, do I have anything here? The battery died right there. Well, yeah, man. Damn birds. They just saw me. I got my alligator, my crocodile head out there. Actually, I think it's alligator head floating in the water. There he goes right there, man. God dang it. See, and he just sits up there in the tree. And now maybe when I blow this firecracker, ouch. There he goes. He's circling back. I'm seeing him through the trees. I think he's circling back, man. I'm gonna walk over here and kick his ass. You know what he's thinking is that, hey, this is prime location. Them fools got thousands of fish in that pond. I can eat them. He's not afraid of my kite bird. I wonder if anybody ever got any data on that. Those kite birds actually work. The guy's got, I think he has no less than like 6 or 8 scarecrows on his land over there right now. And full scarecrow. Pants, shoes, hat, face. He's got, it looks like there's actually 8 guys working on the field over there. And the field's here. Still as green as ever. It'll be sad when they harvest it. There's a lot of weeds in this. Yeah, there's a lot of those leaves or those weeds mixed in with the rice. Maybe not so much out there, but I don't know, it kind of looks like it. And the way off in there, looks like the rice is, some of it's starting to be gold. So they get around to harvest time. Pretty cool. But yeah, man, goddamn bird. Oh, I saw a big old frog jump in the water right there. There's always a bunch of a pile of baby, snakehead fish really running around. They got in here. I don't even know how they get in here, man. But they do. Maybe if the wind's blowing down, see, it looks like he's flying, right? Looks like that's a bird, and the colored side is on this side. So when a bird's flying by, he should be able to look down and he sees that bird moving around and sees the colors and stuff, and he'd be like, dude, don't go there, that's one of them eagles, they'll kill us. And of course, if they're smart, they'll be going, hey man, it's caught, it's on a string, it can't hurt us. Walking around a wet farm, you get to smell all kinds of stuff. We're still pestered by the dogs, the neighbors' dogs. But the rain does kind of, I don't know if you remember, but it wasn't that long ago that we actually took out all of the lilies. All of the lily before we emptied the pond and took all the fish, right? But anyway, this area was literally piled up. It was probably piled this high, battery. And now it's, literally it's gone. This stuff has been just beat down, turned into mulch, created little piles with the dirt. Some of the mud came up with it. But where'd they go? It doesn't just disappear, man. It doesn't blow away. So Mother Nature took it back. And it's just insane. But I remembered it from the other pond we did that. And it was so high. It was like 3-4 foot high on the other pond. And I was like, oh man, that's gonna look like crap. But a few months later, it's gone. Just literally decomposed at such a rate that it was part of the soil. I don't know if you can see it, but I was over here when the battery changed. Right over there, there's these little black fish about this big, and there's like 10 of them all hanging out. You can see the water peck, and it's probably here too, but I can't see it because of the reflection. But all those fish over there, they're not our fish. We didn't put them in there. So what do they do, man? How did they get in there? Are they just buried from a long time ago or something? I don't know. Does the rain pick up fish and spit them out into ponds? They're little fish, so I don't see them crawling up out of something and going into something. We don't have that. I did, well, fair enough. I did have the that's where they probably came from. I had that overflow pipe open before. Still haven't got the bricks. Maybe that's what I can do today. I can get the rest of them bricks. That's what I'll do today. Anyway, I had that pipe open when this had a lot of water. This was up high, and we wanted the water to go in and help fill the pond. So I opened that up, and I had the water coming in for days, if not a couple of weeks. It was trickling and stuff, heavy at times, maybe at rain, but it would come out of this pipe and go on in there. But after we put all the fish in there, when the water raised up at least a meter, we put all the fish in there, we netted that so nothing can go back out. So that's probably where they came. I bet you all the water was flowing. There was a shit ton of these little snakehead babies that tend to stick together in like packs of 50 or whatever. And then they come flushing in here, and now they're flourishing in here, and they're about that big. And that's probably why the bird's out there at that end, because he waits and he sees, and he can see the black ones. He'll just go wham. Nah, I don't want to let him stay over there. I'll keep spooking him because he gonna be eating when I'm not here anyway. So he can eat them when then. But when I'm here, get the. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna go get me some bricks, man. So let me get something done, and we'll get back at you and see what I can get done. Well, I just got back from doing a bunch of stuff. I went and got my bricks. Actually, I got 60 bricks. Recounted again. I think last time I was like 80 something. Anyway, I needed 40 more bricks for over there. Finished the deck part of my dry pour. And then for my wall in the shop, I needed another 18. Yeah. So 48, 58, so I got 60. And now, of course, the arduous task of taking all these bricks, well, 40 of them anyway, and carting them all the way over there. I'll do that maybe with a dolly, but I can only do them about 8 at a time. Maybe I can do 10. If I do 10 at a time, that'll be 4 trips. But I also, while I was there, obviously I need more sand and cement. So I said, you know what, drop that. Normally I haven't filled up my truck with the sand, and I shovel it all off myself. But anyway, here's my 2 cubic meters of sand, or what will soon be the farm's biggest cat box. It's raining though. It's starting to rain right now, so I'm like shit. And all that sand's wet too because it's been raining over there. They don't have that sand covered over at the local little shop over there. So, but usually when you order, if you want sand, he'll try and dig the wet stuff off the top and scoop from the bottom. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, I prefer it to be dry, but what am I gonna do, right? It's gonna get wet with water anyway when I mix it with cement, so I did buy 2 big old bags of the 197 green cement, 50 kilo bags. I put 2 bags in the wheelbarrow for 100 kilos. That'd be what, 220 pounds. And carted that thing over there, and I put the bags inside the little square there so they don't get wet. I covered them up. But the bear is going through here, right? This is not a clean driveway here, which I probably should do something about in the future. So I'll make it easier to get around over there. I plan on doing a walkway, but this whole area I gotta redo that. So I'm gonna wait here a minute. I'm already exhausted just from moving cement. Oh, and also, so remember earlier I said that the air conditioning And so the two guys came out from over here and they looked at it and they pulled off the motherboard, and you can see that the two capacitors that are in there, that one of them is already puffed up, so that capacitor is bad. The other one is actually kind of almost loose. I mean, that's still connected, but you can actually move it a little bit more than you normally would. You know, some capacitors you can move, but they bend on the 2 points, and this one kind of almost jiggles a little bit. So I figured, well, we need 2. We should buy 2 capacitors. That'd be better anyway. And just replace the capacitors. Now I could do that because it's really just a soldering iron to heat up the 2, you know, the 2 contacts that went through the board and the solder. Heat it up and pull them out, and then just get the new ones, put them back. I should be able to do that. So, but those guys don't have aircon parts, at least those, and so he was like, well, if you go buy it, you know, I'll do it, we'll get it done. So, and he said he told us where the electronics store was in town, and I knew where there was another one too, whatever. Anyway, so I went to 5 stores and they didn't have them. They had one that was similar, but it was only one. It was a 450 watt volt and 330, you know, UF or whatever. And this one was minor 400 330, and that was a 450 330, which can work. You can go higher, but he didn't have 2 of them. So I can't very well put the 450 330 in there with my 400 330. Will it work? Yeah. Will it turn on? Yeah. Will it have a problem probably later? Yeah. So I have no choice but to go, you know, on Lazada and try and find the guy in Bangkok, whatever, that has them, and I can get them up here in 2 days or whatever. So my aircon will be dead in the water. I was gonna have my wife call that guy and say, bro, went to 5 stores, couldn't find them. You know, their solution probably would have been, oh yeah, just get a new aircon. And no, that's not what I'm gonna do. But I realized after that if y'all remember when I was working on my inverter and I replaced the fuse and it didn't work, I think I might even mention in that video that the capacitor was puffy on this one. What I should probably do when I order those Lazada capacitors, I should order that one too, and then see if I can't, you know, try to fix the inverter. Yeah, buddy, you can see the rain out there. It's not major rain right now, but it's definitely enough to wet my cement bag, so we don't want that. The bricks, well, they're alright getting wet. They're going to be sitting over there anyway. And again, they're going to be getting wet with wet cement, right? I'm tired, man. I'm tired now. Whoa. I saw a big fish. We don't have that many big fish in this pond. We put all the new ones in there, right? The fresh ones. My wife, though, I think she caught some plata pian or something. The silver ones with the spiky back, yellow tail, whatever. She caught some of those, and then she would chuck them in here, or she'd chuck them in the new pond out there. But the birds, man, I was chasing a bird again when I got back there with them bricks, man. That bird is sitting right here. Like I said, it's probably gonna go over there and take a crap on my scarecrow. Hey, thanks for the perch. Anyway, let's move some bricks, man. Gotta do it. I'm back at you.
Well, ta-da! I mean, you know, it's uneven as all hell, but I will. Let me see. I will even them out as I set them in place. I'm trying to do equal distance and stuff. I could just leave them like this and just top fill so the top is even, you know, level with the cement on it. But I think it will start cracking more because, I mean, it might crack anyway, but I ain't too worried about that. Not like one crack or something. But if I dig below each barrel, I'll probably pull up like 4 bricks, just set them there when I'm sitting down, dig out all up soft soil and stuff, maybe mix even put some sand in there, and then try and make this whole deck, you know, as level as possible. And then I'll start bringing over the sand. What I'm gonna actually do is in here with where the 2 bags of sand or cement are, I'm gonna pile all the sand in here again. I'm gonna pile it in here by batch. So I think 12 buckets of sand maybe, and 2 buckets of cement, was it? Anyway, I'll dry mix it here, and then I'll go ahead and start filling it in. I don't want to put like all the sand here and then put all the cement in there one time. It's just too much work. I think, you know, there is a formula for that, right? If I remember my stats, you know, what is it? Something times something equals work or something like that. So I'll try. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to bust my muscles or my back or my arms. My shoulders all still screwed up. So if I put, you know, a cubic yard of sand over there, and 2 bags of cement, try and mix it all, dry mix, I'll be shoveling and mixing. It won't mix good. If I mix smaller batches, it'll mix a lot better. And that's the key to a dry pour, is making sure your mix is mixed. I mean, you can buy pre-mixed stuff, and I just buy those bags and pour those bags all in there. But that's more expensive. That sand is like $2.50 a cubic meter, and then the bags of 50 kilo bags of cement are $120 maybe. So what's that? $380. I'm gonna do that twice, so 6, 7. So, you know, 20 bucks, something like that. 25 bucks for all the sand and cement to make that. The blocks are, what are those, 6 baht each or something? I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure it all out. I'll do the math and I'll come out with what the price is. All right, man. Now I'm just gonna put the rest of the bricks. Should be 20 of them there. I'm gonna bring them back into the shop area because that's where I'm working. All right, back at you. All righty. Well, I'm here in my shop. I'm sitting on my 20 bricks. I put them in here, the last 20. So I'm already offloaded my 60 bricks. Made 4 trips of 10 over there, 2 trips of 10 here, and pulled my right arm out of the elbow socket probably. I'll feel it tomorrow. And now, in an effort to prep for what I'm gonna do, boom, all that stuff, all my beautiful shelves I made and all this stuff, I gotta remove all that stuff. I'm actually removing the door as well because there's gonna be a wall up in here. The question really is, do I want to do this wall before I do that? And going back on my formula for work, this one's probably gonna be easier, so this one's gonna take priority. This is my mirror box, of which I still haven't, I don't want to break that mirror. Figured out the backing. I thought for a minute maybe the cement board, you know, has a back, but I can't do that. I don't have
well, I have wood, but the wood's thick, man. I don't really want to put a whole bunch of thick wood on there. I wish I had more of this stuff right here, the old windows, but I don't. Didn't really want to go buy more. I actually, if I buy, I'll have to buy a big old piece, you know, a 4x8. I mean, there's a chance I might find something around, like, you know, I mentioned one time, I think when I was over in the garden area, when I was building that shade, the little shade thing for my wife, I'm putting metal roof on there because I used to have bamboo. She wanted me to fix it more again with bamboo, and because it broke in the storm or whatever, and I was like, nah, I'm putting metal up there. But I didn't weld it. I think I just screwed it and wired it or whatever, because there could be a time when I decide I want to do something else with that, or that I actually needed the metal and so then I could go pillage the metal off of that, replace it back with bamboo, and then use the metal for, you know, what I needed, which I don't need for this. But you know, that's the idea, is like, well, maybe I got something around here that I had wood on that I used something, and I can take it off of there and use it for this. But for now, this is gonna be, well, this is from when I just fixed that, when I was working on the box, left all this crap here. So I'm gonna have to make this clean so that I can make it dirty. Dirty 30. Yeah, that's probably gonna take me 30 minutes just to move all that stuff, maybe even more. Whew. It's raining. I'm wet, man. I'm wet from making those trips. So yeah. All right, man. Let's get to work. Do some rearranging. Alrighty, well, ta-da! Before and after. Yeah, now it's just a junk pile. But I do notice that, you know, against all that mud, termite building up in there, it's starting to cut into the door here too. It's hard, but they're you know, eventually they get to it because I put that other wood here. That's why. But before I take that door off of there, you know, it's raining right now, man, so if I take the door off, all the water's gonna come in here on my stuff. I do have a tarp I put over here, but what I'd rather do is take the door off and start on the wall, right? But that is gonna have to wait for the rain to stop. I don't want to be walking out here working on this side under the roof with the rain and all that. And that top shelf, if you saw in the video, that top shelf, because it was right up in there, it had, you know, the old tools that were broken. I had them up there, and really they just became part of the mud pile or termite pile, I suppose. And I threw that pipe through my cans. The spray can was sitting right here, and then they would go underneath the spray can and just work themselves into a, you know, into a nest right underneath, and then eventually just eat all that. This, I just threw it out here, and when I threw it out here, it just goes poof, and exploded because they already got into that. So much for that piece of wood. Just a little added trivia there for you. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm kind of hungry. I'm tired. And I'm very wet with sweat and rain. I don't want to get too sick. You know, it's old people. We get pneumonia, we die. So, hey, man. Thanks for watching. Keep watching. And I'll get back at you with more workshop progress here on the Thai Farm.